And welcome back to Good Day Senlaw. Mike Koch joins us from Neville, Beard and Arsenault to talk about our legal difference. This week we're talking about the legal side of car insurance. So let's dive right into it. A lot of things people don't know.
And I'll kind of visit a little bit, about that. One of the things, I've been at Neville, Beard and Arsenault 30 years, so I've had a chance for a lot of calls of people come in, and I want to visit about some of the things that people typically call about and ask questions about.
Absolutely.
One of them is the no pay, no play.
I got to say, I've never heard of that before. So
okay.
what's going on?
It's an interesting law that the legislature's passed. Really, it happened in 2010. And the purpose of passing the law was to hopefully lower our insurance rates. That was the purpose behind the law. I haven't seen the statistics to see how it's worked, but the point is this, is that if you're driving a vehicle that doesn't have insurance coverage, the first $15,000, if you're involved in an accident for bodily injury, is not compensated. So if your claim is $30,000, they will get a $15,000 discount, and then they'll be responsible for anything over $15,000. The other thing is a property damage on it. The first $25,000 is not covered. And like I said, the main purpose behind it's a great purpose, was that we do have some of the highest insurance rates in the country. And we also, the reason we have the highest insurance rates, or one of the several reasons, is that the number of underinsured or uninsured motorists on that's driving the roads. And they say it's approximately, or back in 2010, they said it was approximately 10% of the motorists out there were actually driving without insurance.
Those high insurance rates are a big talk right now in the state of Louisiana. Let's go talking about, the smaller side of things. What's minimum liability coverage in our state?
The minimum liability coverage now is 15, 30, 25. Mm-hmm. And before it was minimum of 10, 20 was the coverage we had before, 10, 20, 10. The legislature's raised that. And obviously, because cars are more expensive now and the damage to cars are more expensive, medical bills are higher, so therefore they raise the minimal limits to the 15, 30. But a common question people ask is, I want to get the 30. How do I get the 30? I have, broken arms, broken legs, serious injury. I want to get that 30 out of there. And the law says, no, you're not allowed to that 30. Mm-hmm. 15, 30, the 15 is the most that any one person would be able to recover under the policy. 30 would be the maximum number of individuals that were injured by the one car accident. So for instance, if there's 5 people in the car, then most time what an insurance adjuster wants to do is to resolve it fairly with everybody.
Sure.
And depending on their injuries, assuming everybody had the same type injury, then it would be $6,000 for each one. And then the last thing, the number is the property damage. So the minimum limit is the 15, 30, 25, with 30 being the total amount the insurance company be responsible for paying, 15 the maximum they'd pay to one party, and then the last thing would be the property damage, $25,000.
Just a moment ago, you talked about how cars are getting more expensive. Briefly, how do they determine the value of your vehicle?
That's a good question. So when people get in an accident, they might just be calling me or a firm just to find out the value of the vehicle. And a lot of times people get upset on that because our cars are always worth more to us than what it is to anybody else. And then, there's a fairness involved. People think it's not fair, but the system is fair in that your car is worth what your car is worth, what somebody else can replace it for. Now, the tricky part comes in, how do they determine what that value is worth? Typically, insurance companies will look at the average Blue Book value, and that's what I tell our clients to do. Assuming your car is average, then you look at that and the average retail value of the car, that would be the number you want to present to the insurance company to try to get a fair value. Oftentimes, the insurance companies will do their own type investigation to determine the values of the car, and a lot of times they come up with below that. But what I tell people when they call is that if you're making this claim, just like if you go into court, you have the burden of proof. You have to prove it. And what the law has allowed us to prove it is through the average Blue Book value, in which nowadays we can get off the internet. Yep. A long time ago, we used to have these we have to order all these books.
Yes.
When I first started. I've been practicing 30 years, so when I first started, it was all books that we had to use. The law books, the books on the Blue Book value.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you can just go online and get it.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Lots of great information there. And if you think you have a case, go online to nbalawfirm.com. You'll be back again to talk more because we've got a lot more to go through with insurance, but we also have a lot more to go through with Good Day Sin Law. Still to come, more. Stick with us.